Hey guys, PayHD here, and today I am bringing you my Photoshop banner tutorial for YouTube. Now this could be a general gaming banner, it could really be anything you want. It just looks really clean and I suggest it for your channel. Now this is going to be a voiceover, so in case my words don't really match with what I'm doing, I will have text icons on the screen so you can keep up perfectly. Now in the description I will include a download link to a banner template. It is very necessary because it will help you format for YouTube immediately right away. So you're gonna go to File and you're gonna go to Open, and then go to wherever you saved your banner to and just go ahead and open it up. I suggest saving to the desktop. And there we go. Now open it up. And now what I'm going to do here is, some of you will have vertical and horizontal lines. I'm just going to show you how to get rid of those. So I'm going to pull them up here. So it's under View and it's under there. So you're going to go to View and you're going to go to Extras and just unclick it and they're gone, okay? So now nobody really likes the black background, so we're going to change it. So right click on Layer 10 down there, go to Blending Options, and then go to Color Overlay. Now click that little box there if you want to change the color, but I think I'm going to stick with red because I'm kind of feeling the whole red vibe right now rather than the blue I showed you in my banner. So I'm going to show you a little demonstration on how to change the color if you want to. Just move the slider up and down. Pretty simple, but and then you can pick whatever you want. So now that we have this background decided, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some text into the layer. So this is gonna be your name. So you're gonna use your name for this one and use the horizontal type tool. Change the font to somewhere between 150 and 200. I'm gonna go with an even 175 because it works really nicely. That's what I found. I suggest that. So we're gonna type in PayHD here, and that font is really boring. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't really like it. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna change it to my favorite. I don't even know how to pronounce that, but I will put a download link for that one in the description as well. So what I'm going to show you here is on Google, you can go to a website called dafont.com. It has hundreds, thousands of fonts you can use, and they're all perfect. Now, if you want to see what your name would look like with those on, go to Top, click it, and then just type in whatever your name is, and then you can see everything pulled up with the fonts just like that. And you can just scroll through them, find something you like. It's really personal preference, guys, and just scroll over right to download whenever you want it. And like I said, if you do like mine, which I hope you do, I will include that in the description down below so you can use that as well. Now, back to the main Photoshop that we're doing here. Now we're gonna move this to the center a little bit just to make it a little nicer. There we go, that's about right. And then what you can do now is, I believe I'm gonna align these. Yep, so you're gonna hit Control A so you see the dancing ants around your border, and you're gonna go to Layer, Align Layers to Selection, Vertical Centers, Layer, Align Layers to Selection, Horizontal Centers, and that just gets your writing nice and centered in case you have OCD or something, I don't know. So we're gonna give this a little perspective. So we're gonna right click, hit Convert to Smart Object, right click Rasterize Layer, and then hit Control T, and it will select your text, and that's perfect. That's what you want to do. So if you want to zoom in on your text, what you can do is you can hit Control and the plus sign at the same time. Sorry for the lag in the video here. I forgot to hit Control T on my item. That was my bad, but there we go. So once you hit Control T, right click and go to Perspective, and then what you're going to do is just drag it a little bit to give it a nice 3D look. That's once again personal preference, but you see kind of how it gives it a nice perspective. It makes it pop a little more also and looks pretty nice. And I wanted to give it a little more adjustment because I wasn't satisfied with it. But like I said, you guys can do that however you want. It's really all up to you. So now what we can do is we can create a new layer, and we're going to add a little more text. So we're going to, once again, change the font size to about 25, I believe is perfect. Yep, it is. Now type in something along the lines of welcome to the channel of, you could say, the official channel of the official gaming channel, but I'm going to stick with welcome to the channel of ... It seems really nice. So highlight that and change that to a more basic font, something that doesn't seem so fancy, because we really do want our name to pop. So I'm going to go with a nice, simple one. I believe I go with Calibri. Yes, I do. And I accidentally deleted it, so we're just going to undo that there. And then just move it to the very center of your name. And then what you can do is, if you want to, you can do the perspective like you did on your main name. If you want to give it a little 3D look, you can do that. Once again, personal preference, but if you do, you would just do the same thing as I did on the main name. But what you're going to do now is right click or left click your name and left click welcome to the channel of, and hit Control G to group them together. That way, if you want to move them, you can move them around. I'm using the arrow keys. I just find it easier because it keeps everything in line. And then you can just move them around as one, and it makes everything easier. So now you're going to create a new layer, and we're going to add even more text. Now, this one is going to be something along the lines of connect with me at, contact me at. It just opens up that that next barrier between you and your subscribers, a way to contact you. I believe, yes, I go with connect with me on. In this, guys, if you do not have social media for your account, I highly suggest you get it because it is necessary. So I hit connect with me on, and then what we're going to do is we're going to move it to the center there, and it is a nice basic font already, which is perfect, still sticking with Calibri. And now I believe I'm just going to do a little perfectionistic stuff here, and we're going to move it around. And now what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to download a graphics pack that we're going to open up. I will include the ones I use down in the description, but as you can see here on YouTube, all you have to do, type in GFX packs, and just hundreds come up, guys. You can really pick anything you want. Just experiment, see which ones you like, see which ones look cool, which ones don't, and just play around, guys. So the ones I use are Timper's 4K and 10K packs, but I also use the Megas pack. I believe that's how you pronounce it. If it is not, I am so sorry. But I will include those in the description if you want to follow this tutorial exactly. But if you don't, like I said, hundreds there you can choose from. Really, you can just pick whatever you want. So now we're going to open it up, go to File, Open, and then go to wherever you save your graphics pack at. I created a folder for them, which I think you should do too. It's an excellent idea. So now, there we go. We got Timpers, 2 Timpers in the Mega Pack. I'm going to open the Mega Pack first, and then I'll just open the rest after this so we can have them all open, so we can just kind of look through the options and really decide what we want. A lot of this, guys, is about experimentation and seeing what you like for your banner. It is all personal preference and your own design. So I really encourage you to not follow this tutorial like step by step, but rather branch out and find different designs that you like also based off it. So now under the Timpers 10K pack, we're going to go to overlays, and we're going to find a really nice one like I have there, and we're going to paste it back there. So I can't remember which color I went with. I believe I went with one of the reds, but I'm not completely sure. The only reason I did that is because I had a red background already, so it worked. If I'm not mistaken, I went with one of those two. I'm just not sure which one. I definitely did not go with that one, guys. But as you can see, there are a ton of selections there, and you really don't have to worry about the color matching your background like I am, because you can always edit that out just by screening it in afterwards. So what you're going to do is, once you select it, make sure that eye is selected, left click on the title, and hit Control A until you see those dancing ants around the border, okay? Now hit Control C to copy it, go back to your main banner, and hit Control V and paste it in there. Now, you can expand it to however you like, just like I'm doing now. Really, again, personal preference. Just make it whatever size you want and make it work, okay? So once you do that, you have two options. You can either screen it in, like I said, where you click that little tab there where it says normal, up there, yep. And there's the option to screen, which looks like that. And if you lower the opacity or turn off your main layer, that's the second option. It just gets rid of your original color completely. So I personally am a fan of just getting rid of that original layer and doing it like this, because I really like that texture. It just really makes the white in the writing pop, and it makes it look really nice. I also like how it kind of reminds me of lava or something kind of hardcore like that in a way. So now we're gonna go back to Timpers here, and we're just gonna look for some effects here, because he also includes so much stuff, guys. It's amazing. So what we're going to do now is go to the social media icons, and this is where that whole writing with connect with me on comes in. So we load them all up, and there's a ton there. We're just going to take about 3 or 4 3 or 4 necessary ones that people use all the time. So we're going to start with Facebook because I know nobody really uses it, but it just looks nice to have. So make sure you still see that border around. If you don't, hit Control, if it's not there, hit Control A and it'll pop up. To get it away, side note, hit Control D. But yeah, to get it up, Control A. Now, make sure you have that left-clicked Facebook, and then you'll hit Control C, and then go to your main banner, and then once you do, you're going to hit Control V to paste it in, right now. There we go. So yeah, once you have it pasted in, I use the arrow keys to move it because, like I said, it just makes everything easier than trying to move it manually. I find I'm really bad at it, so I just use arrow keys. I move it over really far because we're going to put about 3 or 4. You do want some space. Now, uncheck that with the eye, and then click on Instagram, and then, oh, my bad, Skype. We will do Instagram later. So make sure that Skype is selected, and then hit Control C, and then Control V once again. And then, like before, we'll just use the arrow keys and move down so you have it all centered like that, so it looks really nice. And then, oh, we might have only done 3, I might be wrong. Nope, wait, there we go, moving it left to give it a little more space so we can do 4. Now, we're gonna do Instagram next because I also do suggest getting an Instagram. It's really nice. You can do photos related to whatever your channel is, but once again, Control V, and then just move it over and lower it. I'm pretty sure you guys got the idea of this by now. Really, once again, you can do a Twitch logo too. If you're really into Twitch along with YouTube, that's a good option. So uncheck that, and then the last one we're going to do is Twitter, because that is very important. So Control C, Control V, and then put it in. And then we're going to make sure there's enough space between them because we don't want it to seem like they're really clumped together and stuff. We want it to really look nice. So there we go, we're just moving it around a little bit, making it look good. And what you're doing is you're just selecting those layers, left click them, and then just use the arrow keys, guys. That's really not that bad. So now what you're going to do is we're going to group the connect with me on along with those 4 logos so we can move them together. I believe we do. Yes, we do. So I have it up there. If it is like mine, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to move it below where it says group 1. So they're all in line, and then what you're going to do is make sure you have your words selected, and then go down to the very bottom layer of your social media icons, and then hit Control, and then click, and they will all select. Now hit Control G to group them together again, and now you can move them with the arrow keys just like that, up and down, however you like, really. So far our banner is actually looking pretty good, pretty professional, but what we're going to do is we're just going to align these to the selection. So once again, make sure you have the dancing ants around your border, go to Layer, Align Layer to Selection, and then Vertical and Horizontal Centers. Make sure it looks really all nice and nice and even. Now, I believe, yeah, I'm just going to do it a little more, make sure those are good. And they are all centered horizontally and vertically, so it is very aesthetically pleasing. So it's perfect that way. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to give our name a little bit more pop. So right click on your name, hit blending options, and then this, guys, is amazing. This center, you can do anything you want. You can make a simple writing look completely professional. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to add an inner shadow, and then I'm going to just increase the opacity so it's a little clearer. And sometimes it's hard to see depending on your background. Some of these might not pop up. So really, guys, I could spend hours just going through this one screen and just selecting different things. So I'm going to add an outer glow to it. Typically, I like to match the outer glow to the color of my background, so that is why I'm doing red. As you saw, you can change it easily if you want to. You can really lower the color, make it match pretty well. And I do I end up adding a stroke? I am not. Yes, I do. Also, guys, you can add gradient overlays. You can really do a number of things if you want to, and it's really all up to you. My personal favorite are adding contours to it because it really makes the writing pop. I don't do it here just because it didn't really work with this banner specifically, but if you have another color or writing style, it will really work for you. I did do a gradient overlay, I believe, possibly. I'm not completely sure. Let's find out. But I lowered the opacity on it either way, so it looks pretty nice. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, I change it back to white because I don't think I like how it looks that way. But yeah, so that is so many options that you have to choose from. Oh, there we go. I was just waiting for myself to do it. But yeah, so there's really so many options to choose from, guys. You can completely customize everything, and you can customize the welcome to the channel and connect with me on if you really want to. I just don't, because I want my name to pop like I do here. That is what's most important. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add those circle things to the banner now. So under the Mega Pack, again, I am so sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. You guys are probably just shaking your head at me. Now what you're gonna do is I went to smoke, and I really wanted to play around, guys. There's so many options here. There's smoke, there's fire, there's explosions, there's really anything you could want in the background. But again, guys, just play around. So once you paste something in like that, you don't want it covering. So you're gonna go to normal, and then you're gonna change it to screen like we did with the background, and just really see what works, right? So I just wanted to see if this white paint splatter look really worked, and it didn't, because it was a square and it looked really awkward with my banner. So I really wouldn't suggest doing that. I typically like to go with round objects. As you can see, I'm deleting it now. But I pretty much give up on the smoke at this point, because most of them are square backgrounds and it wouldn't really work with our banner today. So there we go, though. That is a nice paintball splatter. It is not a square, technically. So you're going to Control V it in, and then when you screen it in, that's when it doesn't look like a square, and it's perfect, because now you can size it down and it looks like a nice little splatter or something that's really cool. So I really wanted to give it a little altering there, change the angle up a little bit. So now what we're going to do is to create a second one. All you have to do is hit Control J, and it will just create a duplicate layer for it that you can use if you want to. And then what I'm going to do is you can just drag and move that one over to the right side to make sure it's pretty even, because I really do like to keep things even. And I wanted to change the direction around and make them kind of opposites, not opposites, but make them pretty much a pattern almost, rather than something random, because I'm very big about, you know, keeping things like a pattern, as you can tell by the way I was changing things horizontally and vertically. But I'm just altering it around. Really, guys, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to use these paint splatters if you don't want to. You can use smoke, you can use flames if you want, because that could look really cool on, say, a black background. But you can really do whatever you want like this to change it up. Now, we're going to go back to the Mikas pack for a second, and we're just going to look through and see if there's any possible lighting or smokes we could add, like I said, but it doesn't, the black's not really working with our red background completely, unless we find one that could be white, because that could work in the back behind our already white paint splatters. But overall, it really all depends on the color of your background, guys. So here we go to lighting, and this is like really cool. You can add above lighting, which really makes your name look like a center stage. So make sure you have it selected and Control V it in, and then all you have to do is move that layer that you put the name on, and just screen it in. And then once you screen it in, just move it above your red background. And once you do that, it'll pop in like that. And then lower the opacity bit so it's not so blinding. Just play around with the level to find something you like. And then once you really find something you like, that is a pretty good shade there. So, and then see how the lighting has like a rectangular end. I really do like the lighting and I want to keep it, so I just decided to move the paint splatters up and down to the sides to cover so you couldn't see it's a rectangle. And I actually found out that worked pretty nicely, so that was perfect. And then yeah, so what you have now is actually, it looks like a pretty good banner right now. This is how you save it now that we're finished. So you're gonna go to File, Save As, and then name it whatever you want. I just name it as a banner template 2, I believe, banner for YouTube. And then save it to wherever you want. I have a dedicated folder for everything, but save it as a JPEG, guys. That is very important, JPEG. And once you do that, save it. And now that you have it saved, go to make sure that slider is all the way to the right, so it says maximum, 12, none, baseline, and click preview and hit OK. And there you guys go. You have a completed YouTube banner that you can upload straight to YouTube on your channel that looks nice and professional. Alright guys, thank you for tuning in for this YouTube banner tutorial, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace out.